Hey everybody, JB back with you once again, and welcome to Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. We're on part 3 of this case, in which we had just gotten out of the trial of Ron DeLite, where we were able to exonerate him for the theft of the Sacred Urn in the department store. But in doing so, we inadvertently managed to use his alibi as a means to connect him to a murder that took place at the security company he used to work for called KB Security. Apparently, he had used his key card around the time a murder took place in the CEO's office. So now we're going to have to prove that he had nothing to do with that. We do know, however, that he was there to, I guess, respond to this blackmail letter. I don't know what this is all about. This is one of those things that I'm still curious about, because we know that he's not Mask to Mask. In fact, Luke Atme revealed himself to be Mask to Mask. Apparently he played both the detective and the culprits, and made a big hoopla, big deal out of it. But that doesn't explain what true identity is associated with Ron DeLite here, or what red diamond he received the other day. That's rather curious. Let's talk to Maya. You know, I'm glad we found the urn and all, but poor Mr. DeLite got arrested again. Well, supposedly Mr. DeLite was in the CEO's office when the murder occurred. No way, Jose. I don't buy it. But the one who proved that Mr. DeLite was there was Mr. Nick himself. At least from what I can understand. Looks like you did too good of a job this time, Nick. Well, how about we get started looking into the KB security murder? I think I'm going to head back to Korean Village for a little while, if that's alright. Sure, but why? I'm going to bring the Sacred Urn back and have some people take a look at it. Oh, that's a good idea. I think I'll go with... No, Mystic Maya, you should stay here. I want you two to spend some special quality time together, full of love and happiness. Pearls is so caught up in her fantasy, she forgot there was a murder to solve. Sacred Urn given to Pearls. Now remember, no fighting, okay? She's too pure for this world. She's gone. One thing I was curious about, though, was what was up with the pink globby paint all over the urn? Like, I feel like that's supposed to be connected to the pink paint that we saw in the basement. But did we actually find out, like, how that whole thing happened? Like, how the paint got there and why it's holding the urn together, or who put it back together? Was that... Oh, that was Adrian, wasn't it? Didn't Adrian mention that she tried putting the urn back together correctly? I could be misremembering. Okay, Nick, time to get going on this murder investigation. Alright, well, let's talk to Maya. So, what do we do now? Isn't it obvious? We should get out there and investigate the murder. Well, first we need to find out exactly where KB Security is located. Hey, why don't we ask Miss DeLite? She should know. Besides, I want to ask her some stuff about motorcycles. Motorcycles? You're not thinking of getting one, are you? I'm not the same little Maya who used to be happy with her dinky little bike, Nicky boy. Uh-oh. Desiree is rubbing off on her. Speaking of asking around, I've got a few questions of my own for Mr. DeLite. Okay, well, let's make sure to go to the detention center, too. Okay, well, at least we have got an itinerary ahead of us here. You must be relieved we got the Sacred Urn back, huh? You bet! But there's something a little different about it. Yeah, I was wondering about that myself. Don't question mark at me. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? I mean, take a look at this. It clearly says, I am, on the urn in the poster. But the urn we got back says Amy, like it always used to. Oh yeah, you're right. Plus, the vase has pink splotches on it now. Wait, maybe we don't know about this, then. I'm sure they weren't there before. Maya doesn't know, but 1 year ago, when the urn was broken, the repairer accidentally turned Mystic Amy's name into I am. And that repairer was one mechanically unskilled little Pearls. But still, I don't remember ever seeing pink splotches on it. Okay, so I guess we don't know what happened to it then, so this is a mystery. Is it possible that urn is a fake? I'm sure Pearls will find out about that once she gets back to Karayan Village. Yeah, I suppose. Now that I think about it, Maya hasn't been back to Karayan Village in a long time. So, I guess people still go to Karayan Village to do their training, right? Yep, if you want to become a spirit medium, you need to undergo severe training. So why haven't you been training lately, Maya? Well, lately I've been thinking of heading to a channeling dojo to do just that. A channeling dojo, huh? Sounds pretty serious, whatever that is. Yeah, I didn't even know they had those. If you're going to train, you have to be serious, otherwise real tragedies can happen. Is what happened last year still bothering you? That murder in her village, it happened because the power of channeling was misused. Was it though? Because I feel like there was no channeling that actually happened in that case. When a medium uses the Karayan technique, she temporarily loses her own will. So when an especially strong spirit is summoned, the spirit medium can get taken over and even forced to commit terrible crimes. What's worse, in those cases, the spirit medium has no memory of what happened. That murder, it wasn't your fault, Maya. You know that, don't you? I suppose not, but they keep bringing this up. I'm curious if this is going to come into play. I guess I'm still a bit shaken up, that's all. It sounds like being the master of Karayan is going to be a heavy responsibility. Alright, well, let's move to... We can go to a bunch of places, but let's go to Damask's hideout, which I feel like they need to rename this since Ron is not Masked Damask. Oh, Nicky Boy! Maya! Miss DeLite. She doesn't look very happy. All I wanted to do was help my dear Ronnie. Yeah, but I guess it ended up hurting his case. Don't say that, Nick. She doesn't need your help beating herself up. Hey, Nicky Boy, please help Ronnie. He's not a killer. I swear, my Ronnie wouldn't hurt a fly. Yeah, I couldn't imagine him hurting a fly. Alright, I'll poke around and see what I can find out. Really? Are you serious? Oh, I'm so happy. I knew asking for your help was the right thing to do. I don't know what I can do to help anymore. I had no idea Miss DeLite had such a vulnerable side. Well, let's talk to her. Listen carefully, Nicky Boy. My Ronnie would never, ever kill anyone. It's just not in him. I don't think he would either, Nick. Yeah, but you have to admit he's got a bit of a temper to him. It's not that hard to imagine him just snapping and screaming, "Please die!" He would never say that. Anyway, Miss DeLite, he may not be a killer, but he's still going around saying that he's a thief. I already told you, that's just a fantasy for him. Miss DeLite, I hate to say it, but you're the one living in a fantasy world. What? How dare you say that to me, Nicky Boy? Why are you calling me Nicky Boy? Aren't you, like, younger than me? Let me check. I'm 26. She's 23! Yeah, she is really young. In fact, everybody but, like, Luke Atme and Detective Gumshoe is, like, in their teens or 20s. And we don't know how old this guy is. I know everything about my Ronnie. We don't have any secrets between us. Ronnie isn't the thieving type. He's so honest that he wouldn't even sneak a nap. He's so honest that he wouldn't even steal a glance. A thief! Ha! The very idea. I guess I just don't get it. Huh? Get what? I just can't understand how they can be so different and yet be such a happy couple. I know a few couples who are like that. Also, I'm curious to know about this red diamond thing. I'm wondering if maybe Mr. DeLite feels guilty about somehow ending up with a diamond, and so he's beating himself up and calling himself a thief, maybe? Yeah, they sure are different. Come on now, Nicky Boy. It's not that mysterious, is it? It was love at first sight. For me, anyway. What? For you? Well, now I'm curious about that. So was it really love at first sight when you first met Mr. DeLite? Well, maybe not at first sight, but Ronnie saved my life. Saved your life? I was at work one day when two robbers suddenly rushed in. Well, I'm not the kind to just curl into a little ball in a corner, so I fought back. Robbers? Yes, they took me hostage. I was so frightened. They were both carrying these huge knives, and I broke down into tears. Yeah, I would too if I were in that situation. Me as well. Oh, I think I get it. Did Mr. DeLite come running to save you? Yes, exactly. I remember he looked so handsome in that guard uniform of his. He went right up to those two knife-wielding robbers and screamed in their faces. Also, is that Desiree there? She looks really different. Please stop it! He screamed. I could see the robbers' faces turn pale. That high-pitched shriek of his does have a surprisingly strong effect on people. Then, crying and swinging his arms like crazy, he attacked the two robbers. All by himself. He came to save me, a total stranger, all by himself. He was so scared that he was crying and shaking, but he still risked his life for me. Wow, that's a great story. Yes, he may not look it, but in a tough situation, there's no one better. That's why I fell in love with him like I did. That's so romantic. I'd fall in love too, I guess. Nick, I hope you'll do the same for me if I ever get taken hostage. With Maya, that possibility always seems to loom in the not-so-distant future. Gulp. Also, you were taken hostage in the last game. So I'm curious if Ron has, like, an adrenaline addiction, or at the very least fantasies of being a hero. That seems to be what it sounds like. I hate these kinds of people more than anything. You mean Ace Detectives? No, I'm fine with Ace Detectives. Oh, so then you must mean thieves? No, they're alright too. I just hate thieves that pretend to be Ace Detectives. There's nothing I hate more than cowardly men. By the way, why did you go to Detective Atmey's office anyway? Well, as the trial went on, I started to get more and more anxious. I went there to try to find out more about the real criminal. The real criminal? Yes, obviously the real Mask Damask is not my Ronnie, right? Yeah. And Detective Atmey knew more about Mask Damask than anyone else. They mentioned him on the Great People Around Town segment on TV. So then, you went there to ask him some questions? That's right, I'll do whatever it takes to save my man. His secretary said, the ace detective isn't in right now, but I forced my way past her and into his hideout. I wouldn't exactly call that office of his a hideout. That bag was sitting right there on top of the table. Oh yeah, we saw that bag there yesterday too. There's nothing lower than someone who would try to pin a crime on someone else. Miss DeLite, do you know about KB Security? Don't be silly, of course I do. That's where my Ronnie works. Well, I guess he still works there. I thought he was an ex-employee. So she thinks he's still... Oh, that's right, she doesn't know. So she thinks he still works there, huh? And yet, according to what we heard today... Come on, don't tell me you didn't know. Ron DeLite was once an employee of KB Security. He was a professional security guard. Ron quit. He doesn't work there anymore. It looks like Miss DeLite doesn't know. KB Security is only about 20 minutes away. By motorcycle, that is. Larry told me it takes 30 minutes by car. Well, I have to admit, I tend to fly pretty fast on my bike. To make it to KB Security that fast, are you sure you aren't literally flying? Why don't I give you a ride sometime? Or better yet, how about now? No. I'll pass, thanks. Well, why don't you just tell us where it is and we'll go ourselves? Haha, what a scaredy cat you are, Nick. Miss DeLite told us the location of KB Security. Okay, let's head over there right away, Nick. Alright, I don't know if there's much else we can do here. I do want to know more about this, though. Do you know about this? Oh, is that a letter addressed to my Ronnie? Sorry, but I hate it when people poke their noses into other people's business. It looks like Miss DeLite doesn't know about it, which means she has no idea that her husband was being blackmailed. Oh, so we can't actually ask about it. That's Ronnie's wallet. It was found at KB Security on the night of the murder. Ronnie and I went out to dinner early that evening. I'm sure he had his wallet with him then. So it's true then. He must have dropped it at the crime scene. Nope, nothing with that. I don't really know if any of these other things are that important, so I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, wait. There might be some profile stuff we can do with her. Well, I don't really know. Grr, I don't like this man one bit. He's had it in for my Ronnie from the very beginning. It's his fault that Ronnie is under suspicion of committing murder. Plus, you lob a coffee grenade at me. You looked pretty silly wearing that mug on your head like a birthday hat. Oh, I know. We can get him back tomorrow by returning fire with a milk grenade. I wouldn't mind doing that, but I'm sure the judge would have something to say about it. Well, let's go to this CEO's office. Looks very high-techy. So I guess this is where it all went down, huh? The walls in here look thick, just like you'd expect in a CEO's office. And in a security company's office, too. What has that got to do with anything? Hey, it's you guys! Oh, it's Detective Gumshoe. Today was a real train wreck for you guys, huh? Sure was, pal. That prosecutor made real fools out of us. Yeah, I feel for you. Wow, that's not like you at all. I thought you'd be more like... Oh, that was great. You guys got what you deserved, pal. Ho 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 ho. Or something to that effect. Do I really sound like that to you, pal? If the gumshoe fits. Well, anyway. The point is I can tell when someone puts their heart into their jobs, and I can sympathize when things don't go your way. Sometimes, I feel like wrong is the only way things go for us detectives. And defense attorneys. Wow, I had no idea Detective Gumshoe was such a nice guy. Now, if this little love fest is over, maybe we can start investigating. Detective Gumshoe, tell us what you know about the murder. Okay. Well, the thing is, I'm really not supposed to. Hey, come on. What about how we put our hearts into our work? Things are really working against us right now, and we need help. Okay, I'll tell you. Just don't start crying on me, okay, pal? Okay, I won't cry on you, pal. The victim's name is Kane Bullard. He was the CEO of KB Security and a pretty big fella in his own right. His corpse was discovered at 9 o'clock this morning. His estimated time of death was 1 o'clock in the morning on October 12th. Cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head. Probably an object in his room. It happened at exactly the same time that Mask Damask was stealing the urn, huh? Kane's autopsy report. Time of death, 10:12 at 1 a.m. Cause cerebral hemorrhaging from blunt trauma to the head. So why did it take almost an entire day to discover the body? There's a good explanation for that one. Bullard's body was stashed away inside that safe. Safe? Well, it is pretty big. Nobody had heard from him, and when they opened the safe this morning, out he came. Oh, so the body fell out. That white string must be the shape from when he fell out. I think we still need some more information about Mr. Billiard. Maybe you could start by getting the man's name right. So, what happened to Mask Damask? He's at the detention center screaming like a madman. Investigate me again! He keeps yelling. Ah, no, I didn't mean him. He's not the real thief anyway, right? Oh, you mean that detective at me? Ho 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 ho. Oh, that was great. That guy got what he deserved. Ho 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 ho. Okay, now he is saying that. Now that's the detective I know and love. Think about it. Atme was always around when a calling card showed up, but he always mysteriously disappeared when the heist took place. I was hiding at the crime scene. Heh. Yeah, right. That's the lamest thing I've ever heard. That's how you just knew he was a thief. That would explain how he was able to retrieve the stolen item he keeps bragging about. Yeah, he just did that to make himself look like a great detective. That's all. But there's this one thing I can't figure out about his first heist. First heist? His first heist? Yeah, the Tear of Emanon case. There was a witness on that one. A witness? Here, I saved the newspaper clipping. Since the thief is already under arrest, you guys can keep it. The gem and the thief. Stolen? Hey, this guard here. Haven't I seen him somewhere before? It's pretty small, so it's kind of hard to see, but now that she mentions it... Is that Larry? I'm kind of curious to read that. Oh, we can't read it. That's all we can see then. Ooh, that prosecutor. I really don't like that guy. The way he used our own evidence to do that to Mr. DeLite. Yeah, I think he did it that way just because he knew it'd hurt more. That's what my gut tells me anyway. Yeah, he seems to be out for revenge or something. I don't know what's going on. So who's that Java-addicted masked maniac anyway? Prosecutor Godot? He's quite the enigma, huh? Thing is, pal, I never even heard of the guy before. So I'm curious to know how Detective Atme heard of the guy before, unless he's just making all that stuff up, which wouldn't surprise me. He just showed up one day at the prosecutor's office, came out of nowhere. That's right, he said this was his first case as a prosecutor. And that's true, according to the records anyway. But, no way he's an amateur. He's an Iceman in court, a maverick that gave me goosebumps. Goosebumps? You? Yeah, I knew something was off about him, so I asked around. Nobody would talk to me. They all just turned the other way. Poor Detective Gumshoe. I had no idea you were so unpopular. Aw, no, that's not what I meant. The Godot guy acts like he knows me and has a grudge against me. I get the feeling he's hiding some kind of dark secret. Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen him before. I mean, his facial hair and the earrings he was wearing, I don't think we've seen anyone wear those in past games. So who is he really? Curious to know if Gumshoe knows about this. About this blackmail letter. Yeah, I've been thinking about a lot about it too, pal. Why would Kane Bullard have been blackmailing Ron DeLite anyway? Well, Mr. DeLite used to work at KB Security, right? But what was it that made him quit? Nick, that's it. Maybe that's the same reason he's being blackmailed. Well, I'm in the middle of investigating that right now. Oh, alright. Well, I guess we can't get anything else out of that. Oh. I think we need to ask Mr. DeLite some more about those two things. Okay. Let me look around the room. Ew, think about it. A dead guy was laying in here all night. Yeah. Oh, by the way, don't bother asking about fingerprints. There were none. Well, somebody opened this safe on the night of the crime, right? Yeah, and so? Well, Mr. Bullard's body was hidden in here. It must mean that it was opened by either the killer or the victim, right? Yeah, I guess so. Ho 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 ho. I got some bad news for you, pal. Are you ready? Okay, shoot. Opening this baby is no piece of cake. There are only a few people who know how to open this safe, pal. Yeah, and... everyone that knows how to open the safe had airtight alibis. I checked. Everyone except one, that is. You don't mean... I'm almost afraid to ask. Former security chief, Ron DeLite. Security chief? Did we know that before? I feel like that's a new detail. What? Ron DeLite? He was the security chief? Okay, apparently we didn't know that. Ron? So he knew how to open the safe, huh? Yeah, sorry for raining on your parade there, pal. This is not looking good for Ron, is it? This rope. You think it fell out of the safe when it was opened? I don't think so. I think something else fell out. So you mean... yeah, I think the string shows where and how the corpse was lying. You mean the victim, he was killed by being crushed by the safe door? Never mind. She can't be serious. Can she? You never know. Okay, nothing to see there. Whoops, I did not mean to... my mouse or cursor just snapped back there. Wow, look at that huge framed photo! Tall mountains rising majestically against a dark and cloudy sky. There's a title written at the bottom of the photo. The greatest sunrise of my life. This is it? This was his best sunrise? Either this guy didn't get out enough or he had really rotten luck with the weather. Maybe if he had lived a little longer, he would have seen some better days. I don't know, it sounds like he enjoyed being in here. This must be the CEO's desk. It's a lot simpler than I would have thought. Hey, that looks like a super soft chair. Let me try it out just for a second. Ooh, nice. I feel just like a CEO. Hey you, whip me up a cup of coffee, some really expensive import tea, and some scones. Move it. Ah, this is the life. The victim sat in that chair just before he was brutally killed, you know. Eek! That certainly puts a new perspective on it, doesn't it? What is this? Check out this big, thick binder here. Leave the heavy lifting to me, Nick. Reading a file isn't exactly back-breaking work, just a little hard on the eyes. Ah! What did you find out, Nick? This file, it's not about any sort of security operations or anything. This huge file is all about Mask Damask. It's filled with info on him. What? What kind of info? It's filled with incredibly detailed information about his methods and the crime scenes. Hey, Nick, look at the last page. It's a list. Let's see. Tear of Emanon, $100,000. This looks like a list of all the treasures that Mask Damask stole. So then $100,000 is the value of the stolen item? I don't know. That number sounds kind of low to me. I think I'd better secretly make a copy of this list. So somehow we managed to write all this stuff down in front of Gumshoe without him knowing, I guess. Kane's list, found on a table at the crime scene. Curious to see if we can read it. We can. Tear of Emanon, jewel, 100,000. Crown of Bongora, artifact, 150,000. Left hand of Hades, sculpture, 240,000. And then Portrait of Megina, painting, 500,000. Yeah, the Sacred Urn just doesn't seem to fit in that lineup, does it? Alright, something is very off about this. These look like some kind of bookshelf slash rolling cabinet hybrid. I can't get in between these two shelves. Looks like there's plenty of room there. Don't strain yourself trying. Looks like the shelves are controlled by a special panel. So I guess it's one shelf at a time, huh? Looks like they're filled with bunches of files. Yeah, it kind of reminds me, back when I used to work at Walmart, we had the clothes section of the back room, and they would have like shelves that you would have to slide around to get to each section where you would hang the clothes back there. Yeah, files filled with data about security jobs they were hired to handle. It'd be a good night's reading if you got insomnia. I was hoping for something a little bit more exciting, like UFOs or something. Yeah, I don't think we're getting that. We can't look at that over there. So I think that's about it, unless this... Ooh, we got a big red button here. Ooh, there's a button here. Let's see. Hey, cut it out. Don't press that. Haha, that was pretty funny. I never knew Detective Gumshoe could jump like that. What is that button anyway? It's an emergency buzzer. It says it right there on the panel. Well, I couldn't see that. Oops, you're right. It's written right there. Nick, how many times have I told you to read the instructions first? Me? Well, I guess I was the one who pressed it. I thought it was Maya. No, it was Maya. She did say, let's press it. This alarm's connected to the basement guard room. It's used to summon security up here. Really? Then it's possible on the night of the crime. Ooh, so when the CEO was attacked, do you think that maybe he pressed the buzzer? Yeah, I thought about that, so I asked around down there. But they said that the buzzer never went off that night. Also, we couldn't find any fingerprints on the buzzer. Mr. Bullard, the victim, wasn't wearing any gloves, by the way, just so you know. I think we better go and talk to that guard about this emergency buzzer. CEO office buzzer, connected to the basement security guard office. There are no fingerprints on it. So, I can see a couple of possibilities here. Either Larry was on security duty that night and he was slacking, which is certainly possible. Or, the murder happened someplace completely different, and then the body was brought up here and stuffed into the thing there. Let's go check out this security room. Wow, this place looks very interesting for sure. Wow, this is really something else. For a security guard office, it sure doesn't feel very secure. KB security guard. Uh-oh, I just remembered. Larry might be... Hey, Nick! What's up? Oh, we got the Larry music here. So he is here. Yo, how's it hanging, dude? And you got my sweet little Maya with you, too. Your sweet little Maya? Hi, Larry. Here, I was working my fingers to the bone. And in walks an angel. I got no problems with a daytime date. It's all good. No, it's not all good. No, that's not what we're here for. We're investigating the Bullard murder case. Huh? Oh, yeah. That's right. You're a lawyer, aren't you? He's so hopelessly clueless. Well, if it's about the murder case, boy, have I got some good info for you. Oh? Really? What is it? Well, I don't mind sharing with my sweet little Maya. But Nick here is a different story. What? But Larry, I thought you two were old school buddies. That was then and this is now. Alright, well we need some info. So what's this good info you were talking about, Larry? Hey, I'm a guard, a pro. I can't just give away information for free. I feel like you can, and should. He wants a bribe? I thought professionals were more, I don't know, honest? Can you talk to him, Maya? Larry, tell us already. What's the good info? Hey, I like that. This kitten has got some claws. Don't call Maya a kitten. Okay, you really want to know? Yes, so tell me. Okay, so the thing is, Ron DeLite was an employee here. And naturally, since I'm a pro, I looked into his background. Follow me? Yes, you're a pro. I follow you. Go on. Well, 1 year ago, Ron DeLite was fired. And there was no warning at all. It just happened all of a sudden. I know this is a small company, but I think that was pretty awful. So, has he been out of a job for a whole year? And no one knew? So how's he making a living? Now I'm beginning to wonder if he really is stealing stuff. I guess he must have done something bad to have gotten fired like that. Like maybe skipping out of work to go pick up hot chicks or something. No, I'm pretty sure that's just you, Larry. No, that's just you. So what is it like to be a part-time security guard? Well, let me tell you, it's tough. Well, you know me. I get by alright, I guess. That's one way of putting it. First, I have to keep my eye on those monitors. All the time. Monitors? There are security cameras set in each room around the building. It's really hard. Sometimes I feel like my eyes are gonna fall out. Oh. And if I see something suspicious, I have to contact one of the teams. What teams? The security teams for this company. They're supposedly the best in the business. But I'm no amateur either, so if it's something small, I don't bother calling them. So in other words, you basically watch TV screens all day long. You were in this office when the murder took place, weren't you? Why do you say that? This is just a part-time job for me, and I can't operate the equipment, and I'm dumb. You're getting defensive all of a sudden. Even if it is part-time and you are dumb, you're still in charge of security here. Hey, give me a break. Don't try to pin the whole thing on me. That's not fair, Nick. Huh? I don't think you can expect someone like him to take any responsibility. Anyway, the point is you were here that night, right? Oh. 2 psyche walks. Oh no, I knew something smelled bad, and it was the butts after all. Well, it's like I always say, that was then and this is now, okay? It looks like I'm going to have to break his psyche walks after all. Alright. I've discovered that looking through what these are will give us a clue as to what to look for, so even if we can't solve it now, we can at least try to see what we can be searching for. The night of the crime. On the night of the crime, were you working hard like you were supposed to? What? Huh? Of course I was. Why wouldn't I have been? But didn't you sneak out of work just yesterday to go see Miss DeLite? Ah, but that was that. And this is this. Is there any chance that you snuck out of work last night, too? Never! I didn't sneak out. I tell you what, I'll even bet you $1. $1? Wow. Now that's confidence. What's with that drenched in the rain puppy look on your face? Do you have evidence that I left my position, or are you just pulling my chain? The evidence that Larry was not manning his station when the murder happened is... I don't know if we have anything yet. Oh. Is it this? No. Okay. Okay. 70 cents. Okay. So maybe we can't do this yet. Oh, okay. It is that. This is the card to the key card to the CEO's office, right? Yeah, that's right. This key card was found inside a wallet. This wallet. You know about this, right? I've never seen it before. So I'm wondering if we could present the wallet too. Liar, you hand-delivered this wallet to Miss DeLite just yesterday. Give me a break. You can't expect me to remember every little thing that happens. Well, I do expect you to remember something that happened just yesterday. What time was it when you found this wallet? I guess it was around 1 o'clock in the morning on the first floor of our company building. 1 o'clock in the morning? That's right. In other words, Larry, at the time of the murder, you were away from the security guard office. Ah! Yeah, but there's something you didn't think about. What's that? My shift that day didn't start until 10 o'clock p.m. The murderer might have snuck in before then. What do you mean by that? If the murderer had snuck in before 10 o'clock p.m., then it wasn't my fault. It was the fault of the guy whose shift was before mine. Why do I have the feeling that he still doesn't get the seriousness of this? Listen up, Larry. We know beyond the shadow of a doubt that the killer snuck into the CEO's office after 10 o'clock p.m. during your shift. I feel like we have something here. That's about when it happened. Oh, is it just this? Yeah. Larry, when you use this key card, does it leave a record? Yeah, it does. But I can't show the record to just anyone, you know. That key card data was already made public in the trial today. What? I didn't know that! Any kind of request for info like that is supposed to go through me! Boy, does that sound a bit arrogant coming from a part-time guard. Anyway, according to the data, the door to the CEO's office was open with this card. Furthermore, it was most definitely used at 1 a.m., the time of the murder. No way! Yes, someone used this to get into the CEO's office. That happened at 1 a.m. on the night of the crime, right in the middle of your shift. Ooh, Larry, you can't duck your responsibility this time. Gyar, no! Okay, that ended up being a lot easier than I was expecting. Unlock successful, and we got our one little bit of health back. Ooh, I knew it. It's all my fault. It's my fault that the boss was killed. My fault. Larry, there was nothing I could do. I have important issues to deal with too, man. What happened that night anyway? My Donna happened. Oh boy. Huh? Your Donna? I got a bad feeling about this. Yeah, my Donna called and said, I have to talk to you right away. So I went to see her and he was standing right there next to her. Who was? Her new boyfriend. It was like some horrible joke. Before I knew what was going on, the guy socked me right in the kisser. Normally, I'm the one that does the punching. Isn't that right, Maya? I can't say that I've ever seen you punch anyone ever before. Yeah. So is that why you left the security guard office? Wah! I'm sorry. It's all my fault. How can I ever make up for it, Nick? What can I do? What? Wah, wah. He's curled up on the floor, crying like a baby. Oh boy. Nick! Is there anything I can do? Anything! Just name it! I'll do whatever I have to make up for it. I swear I will! Larry. Hey Nick, as long as he's offering, why don't you show him the evidence we've got? She's right. Maybe we'll get at least one bit of useful information from him. Nick! Alright, let's see what evidence that is. Is it the blackmail letter? We've been showing that to everybody. So what about this? Huh? Maya, you shouldn't have. A love letter for me? No. Sorry. This is a blackmail letter. What? How do you know about that, Maya? Huh? How much is Alexis demanding this time? Huh? Who is this Alexis? Didn't we show him this letter yesterday, too? I'm pretty sure we did. Maybe we did. Come to think of it, I'm pretty sure we did. Alright, I'm going to present this. No, I guess not. Oh, right. This thing. No? I thought they were implying earlier that that was Larry. Okay, we're supposed to show him something. Or is something that we don't yet have? The buzzer in the CEO's office is directly connected to this room, right? That's right, just like my heart is connected to yours, Maya. That was really terrible. Huh? Go ahead, Maya. Press the buzzer in your heart. Yeah. I promise I'll come running to your rescue, like the professional guard I am. Wow, that was pretty good. No, it wasn't. Eh, thanks. I try. Do you think you could tell us about the buzzer now? Yes, please. Please tell us. Okay, I guess so. Prepare to be wowed. Oh boy, I'm on the edge of my seat. I accidentally pressed the buzzer earlier. Yeah, I heard it. So that was you, huh? And apparently you didn't do anything about it? You're a security guard, aren't you? Why didn't you come to the CEO's office? Well, this is the third floor of the basement. The CEO's office is on the first floor. I thought it would be a good idea to, adopt a wait-and-see approach. Yeah, you're kind of a terrible security guard. Plus, there's a police detective here, right? I just didn't think it was necessary. It's as if he's trying to win an award for the laziest person on the planet. Tell me about it. Let's get back to talking about the night of the murder, okay? Is it true that the buzzer didn't go off that night? There must be a record, right? You must have had a look at it, right? Of course I did, and I couldn't possibly have made a mistake either. Do you think you could just take one more look for me, pretty please? Oh, okay. I just can't say no to you, Maya. What do you think, Nick? He's probably right. I don't think even Larry could make a mistake like that. Wah! Well, what is it? What's wrong? I made a mistake! Huh? But how? It can't be. It's impossible! Okay, enough already. What about the records? That night, it went off just once. In the morning, at around 1 a.m. 1 a.m.? That's when the murder happened. Really? Are you serious? That's terrible! It can't be! I'm afraid it is true, Larry. All of it. Oh, whoops. I did not mean to hit that again. This is going to be a long string of text to go through. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Okay. I guess we can look around in here. What's this? Something is written on this poster in fine print. A guard's 5 commandments. Wow, this sounds serious. Let's see what it says. Number 1, obey thy superior. Number 2, respect thy superior. Number 3, smile at thy superior. Number 4, salute thy superior. Number 5, buy donuts for thy superior upon command. It's signed Wendy Oldbag, head supervisor. Oh no, she works here? She's one tough old bird, let me tell you. Cross her and you come face to face with a real genuine ray gun. So apparently, she still has a ray gun, even though Desiree has the helmet and the little box thingy. Yeah, sounds scary, alright. Well, fortunately, she's on vacation. That's why I'm so relaxed right now. Well, that explains a lot. That's my partner's seat. Your partner? Well, that's what I call her. She's my superior, actually. Kind of a weird old lady. There's tea spilled all over that machine, you know. Oh, don't worry about it. Just the other day, I spilled some chocolate milk on mine. It still works fine, more or less. They really know how to build them, I guess. Yeah, how about you don't do that? Okay, these are not separate things. Hey, Larry, that's your jacket, isn't it? That's right. Did you know you hung it right on top of some kind of lever? Yeah, sure. I was told to never ever touch that lever. She scowled and huffed at me. Something terrible will happen if you do. Got it, greenhorn? So why hang your jacket on such an important lever? Because it got me curious. If the jacket's weight pulls the lever down, that's what they call an accident. Doesn't the suspense just kill you? Don't you want to know what'll happen? Huh? Not particularly. It's true. It's killing me too. What about you, Nick? Yeah, but for a different reason. I guess we can't try it. What's all this stuff here? Wow, take a look at these things here. Hey, Larry. What are they? Did you say, Hey, man, it's not like I have to know what they are to do my job. I always thought they were just some kind of decoration or something. I feel like you should know what they are to do your job. Oh, boy. How did this guy ever get a job here anyway? Okay, I don't think there's anything else other than this. Those screens there show what's going on all over the building. Everywhere. And it's my job to keep a steady eye on them. All of them. I don't see the CEO's office. Or a spot that looks like it, at least. I wouldn't sound so smug if I were you. Can you watch regular TV on these too? Maya, don't give him any ideas. If anyone would sit here and watch TV instead of working, it's Larry. Hey, Maya, I'm a pro, okay? Besides, you can't get regular TV on it. And how do you know that, Larry? Because that was my first bit of investigation, if you know what I mean. Of course it was. I know what you're thinking. It was a professional investigation, alright? Sure. Is that the chocolate milk, by the way? That's my workstation. Pretty cool, huh? I keep a steady eye on the monitors and use that mic for communicating. Look at all this equipment. It must be hard to operate. No, Biggie. I think there's an instruction manual somewhere in this room. Somewhere? Instruction manual? What are you going to do in an emergency? Well, I guess I'd start by calmly looking for the instruction manual. During that time, my partner, the old lady, would calmly look for her reading glasses. That's what us security professionals call teamwork. Yeah. Right. Even Maya and Pearls could run this place better. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Also, we got the achievement Smells Like Old Bag. Alright, so I think that's all we can see. I guess we can just start looking around and seeing what else there is to investigate. I don't think we got any new evidence here, so... Oh, we can present this. Let's see if it does something. Nope. We cannot. Okay, let's move around. I guess we'll go here. The Treasures of Khura'in exhibit is all ruined now. Maya, I'm sorry, it's just so sad. This is our big chance for everyone to learn about spirit channeling. Maybe I can cheer her up somehow. Well, now that we've got the Sacred Urn back, maybe they can reopen it? Really? Sure, maybe we can label it the Urn of Mask Damask's Desires. That would probably attract a lot of attention. Whoa. Whoa! Whoa! That's brilliant, Nick! We could clean up and be filthy rich! Woohoo! Wow, that was surprisingly easy. I want to see if Adrian's around. Oh, it's you, Mr. Wright! Miss Andrews, what's she still hanging around down here for? So, how's it going? What about the Sacred Urn? The urn? Oh, that. It's been taken care of already. What do you mean, oh, that? Taken care of? Do you mean it's been found? Yes. It was brought in during the trial today. Wow, really? You really are the greatest, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright had nothing to do with it. It was Mask Damask's wife that found it. We established that it wasn't Mask Damask. Well, anyway, I'm so relieved. I just heard all about it on the news. So that detective was actually the thief all along. It looks that way right now. It's my fault. I'm the one who ended up hiring Damask to guard the treasures. Don't blame yourself. You were just doing your job. Hey, Nick, if she wants to apologize, you should let her. So, when was it that you hired Detective Atme again? About 20 days ago. And when was it that Mask Damask's calling card arrived? That was about 10 days ago. So he sent a calling card to the very place he was hired to guard. I guess that's it then. Detective Atme must have really wanted the Sacred Urn after all. I guess so. I'm really curious if Mask Damask saw the exhibit's poster thing and just thought that because it said hidden treasures or whatever it was, that it must just be inherently worth a lot. What? So Mask Damask murdered someone as well? Well, that's how things look right now. Yes, but I thought that he was here stealing the urn at the time. Well, we're talking about a criminal mastermind, so anything's possible. Nick, let's get down to business already. On the night of the theft, did you notice anything suspicious about Detective Atme? No, I couldn't have. After all, he was hidden the entire time. I never even caught a glimpse of him. Also, who's that guard over there? He claims that that's the way he always operates. That's just what he says so he can have an alibi while he commits the thefts himself. Yeah, he was caught in the crime scene photo dressed up as Mask Damask pretty well. I'm so glad that you got your Sacred Urn back. Yes, but there's still something that bothers me about it. What is it? I'm not exactly sure, but somehow the urn that came back seems different. Really? You wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Miss Andrews? No, I don't know anything. Well, why would I? Ooh. Another 2 psyche walks. What do you think this means, Nick? It means the person that holds the secret to the mystery of the Sacred Urn is our very own Miss Andrews. I still think that maybe she could have put it back together. It feels like the kind of thing she could do. Let's see if we can make some progress on this, at least. The Sacred Urn. Miss Andrews, do you know anything about the Sacred Urn? Do I know anything? I'm in charge of the entire treasure exhibit. The urn that was submitted before the court today, it's obviously not the same urn as before. Well, that's true. Maybe it isn't the same. It could be a fake. A fake? You're the one who said it wasn't the same, so that's the most obvious explanation. Do you have any evidence the urn that was submitted at the trial was genuine? Do we? Let's see. Not that one. I'm curious if this is the thing we need to present. That's mask to mask, yeah. I'm gonna try presenting this and see what happens. No, okay. Unless it's like, hang on. Unless it's a profile. Yeah, there's not anything about urns here. Let's back out for now. Alright. Is there anything new here? I'm just gonna check. I don't think so. Yeah, everything looks the same. We haven't gone to the detention center yet, so let's try that. I'm wondering if we can talk to Ron some more about the blackmail stuff. I already told you, it's not me! A sad, pitiful whine that tapers into silence. Sounds like they're interrogating Mr. DeLite right now. Man, and we don't have enough time as it is. Yeah, well, I guess the police are going crazy just like we are. Yesterday they thought he was just a thief, but now they got a murder case on their hands. I guess you're right. That guard over there looks a bit on edge, too. Come on, we'll just have to come back later. Okay, let's go check out some other place, Nick. Alright, so I guess we cannot do anything here. Curious if there's something we can find. What about here? Can we do anything at the At-Me place? Whoa, this place is literally crawling with cops. What do you expect? Not that they know he was actually masked to mask. Or now that they know. This must be incredibly embarrassing for them, don't you think? Yeah, I guess they're trying to make up for it by tearing the place apart. Hey, I just noticed, Gumshoe is nowhere to be seen. Well, he is a homicide detective. He's probably working on the murder case. But wasn't he in charge of the mask-to-mask investigation all the way up to yesterday? Well, a murder case is a lot more exciting, isn't it? He'd say something like, "There's nothing like a good murder case, pal." Points for the quality of the impression, but I'm not sure Gumshoe has bloodlust, Maya. Okay, I don't think there's anything new here either. I'm gonna look at what we need to do. What is it that we haven't yet done? Oh, apparently we need to go and talk to Detective Gumshoe about, what you call it, the CEO. So let's present this guy. Detective Gumshoe, tell us more about Mr. Shane Bluebard. That's Kane Bullard, not Shane Bluebard. Oh yeah, the victim in this case just doesn't make much of an impression on me. Well, you were the victim up until Mr. Bullard was found dead. Yeah, and his body wasn't discovered until this morning. Anyway, we don't have enough information yet. Can you help us out? Sorry, I'm actually a little confused myself. For some reason, I'm just blabbing like an idiot right now. Okay, Nick, now's our chance to get more info about the victim, so hurry up and ask. Alright. Here we go. Can you tell us some more about Mr. Bullard? He was the CEO of KB Security, right? What kind of company is it anyway? Well, the company basically sends security teams out to buildings to guard them. Mr. Bullard must have had the chance to learn a lot of secrets doing this kind of work. Oh, and I don't know how to put this, but the guy was kind of a money grubber. Really? Me too. I just love money. I can't ever get enough. Please stop leaning in toward me like that. You aren't getting to my wallet. Yeah, no burgers for you tonight. Anyway, it looks like he did some pretty shifty stuff to earn his millions. Oh, so that's my problem. I need to be shiftier. Let me go already. Apparently, he was involved in selling trade secrets between rival companies. Ooh, that's pretty dirty and underhanded. Yeah. Oh, KB Security used to head security operations against Mask to Mask. What? Really? Yeah, and after screwing up so many times, the company's reputation really took a nosedive. So it really was Bullard who sent Ron the blackmail letter, huh? It's almost as if Ron actually is Mask to Mask. I'm curious, can we move to the detention center now? Here we go. Okay, now this is unlocked. Ah, Mr. Wright. Mr. DeLite, did they finish their interrogation? Yes, but please don't leave me alone anymore. Mr. DeLite, you lied to us before, didn't you? Well, you see, on the same night the Sacred Urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor Department Store, a blackmail letter you got summoned you to KB Security to hand over some money. And then, that's where the CEO, Kane Bullard, was murdered. But there's only one Ron DeLite, am I right? So the only question is, where were you that night? This time I want to hear the whole truth. Your life depends on it. Okay. Mr. DeLite, do you still insist that you are Mask to Mask? Isn't that what I've been saying since yesterday? That was a quick response. You know, I just had a thought. What if Luke Atme was actually the culprit in the murder case, and he saw an opportunity to get himself indicted as Mask to Mask to avoid being the culprit in the murder? And in doing so, he knew that Ron would be framed as the murder culprit. Like, what if it's the other way around? What if Ron really is Mask to Mask? Tell me about it. To be honest, it's starting to get irritating. But listen, Mr. DeLite. At the trial today, we learned the true identity of the thief, didn't we? Hee. Take a good look, everyone! Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. I guess it's true. I wasn't the one who stole that urn. Of course not. After all, you were at KB Security at the time. So then the person dressed up as Mask to Mask in this photo, it's gotta be Detective Atme. So that night, you didn't go to Lordly Taylor, you went to KB Security, right? Yes, I went to KB Security at the time the blackmail note said I should. Alright, what happened next? Well, I used to work there, so I knew where the CEO's office was. I knocked, but there was no answer. So then I used the keycard to unlock the door. That's probably when he dropped his wallet. When I went to the CEO's office, someone was in there. Someone? Then suddenly they bashed me over the head. Bam! That definitely looked like Luke Atme's silhouette. Was it Kane Bullard that hit you? I don't know. The person ran away while I was still stunned. When I came to my senses, the sight I saw left me speechless. The dead body of the CEO was right there in front of me. I thought I'd die myself. Anyway, I thought I should do something with the body. So that's why you put it in the safe. Yes, that's right. I used to be the chief of one of the security teams, so I knew how to open it. Okay, and what did you do after that? Well, I got out of there for starters. I was the one who set up the security cameras in that building. So I knew how to avoid being spotted by them. Nick, all of a sudden Mr. DeLite kind of sounds like the murderer to me. Please don't say that. I'm curious to know why he was fired. Mr. DeLite, is it true that 1 year ago you were forced to quit KB Security? Ah, how did you... I'm begging you, please don't tell Desi, please. Don't worry, we haven't told anyone yet. Phew, thank goodness. Or no, but I suppose I'll have to tell her sometime. She'll find out eventually. Why have you been hiding it from her anyway? Desi would despise me if she ever found out I was living a life of crime. A criminal, a thief. She'd never forgive me. My marriage would be over. Knowing that, why did you become a thief in the first place? Because Desi spends money like it's water. There's no job in the world that could bring in enough money. Except being a thief. At least that's what I thought anyway. So he became masked to mask for Desiree, huh? Yeah, I'm beginning to wonder if Ron really is masked to mask. And, well, that doesn't explain what Luke Atme was doing in the CEO's office if he's the one who hit him. But, like, somebody else had to have been masked to mask in the Lordly Taylor exhibit, right? I'm convinced that Ron actually is masked to mask. He seems way too honest. And I think they're kind of trying to imply that Desi is not really on the up and up as far as, like... Or, not on the up and up. She's not aware that he's, like, without a job and he's been doing some stuff on the side like this. And it would make the blackmail letter make a lot more sense, too. So was this blackmail letter written by KB Security's CEO, Kane Bullard? I think so. Probably. You can only get into the CEO's office if you have a key card. And the blackmail letter said to meet at KB Security. Guess no one other than Mr. Bullard could have written the letter then. Unless they knew about all the stuff there. Let's see. Can we talk about the wallet? I was at KB Security at around 1 o'clock that night. I took out my wallet to open the door with a key card. So is that when you dropped it? I'm sorry. I should have told you the truth earlier. Okay. Can we ask about this? What are you still doing with this key card anyway? Didn't you return it when you left your job at KB Security? That's a good question. Of course I returned it. Don't be silly. But it got sent back to me along with the blackmail letter. Oh. So at the very least, it's somebody with access to those key cards, which the CEO would definitely fit that bill. With the blackmail letter... Yes, it said, use this to enter the CEO's office. What about this? The buzzer went off just once around the time that Bullard was killed. Ooh, that's scary. Do you know anything about that, Mr. DeLite? Sorry, I'm afraid I don't. Why am I not surprised by how clueless he is anymore? But that's the emergency buzzer from the CEO's office. Don't press it, it makes a terrible racket. Hee hee, sorry, I just love making a lot of noise. Does this buzzer have something to do with this case? Well, at this point, I don't really know yet. After all, there were no prints on it, or anything else for that matter. But apparently it went off. This list, we found it in the office of the CEO, Mr. Bullard. Hey, this is a list of all the things Mask to Mask stole! And that's the value of each item listed next to them. $100,000. $150,000. Are you sure that's the value of the stolen items? The numbers seem a little low to me. Even on the black market, the prices should be at least 3 times higher than that. I guess he knows about that stuff because he used to be a security guard. What about this? Hey, this is an article about my debut heist! Boy, that was a tough one. Before I knew it, they were hot on my trail. But Mask to Mask, he must have gotten away, right? It says in the article that he disappeared. That's right, I got a sudden burst of inspiration. I hid my Mask to Mask costume in a nearby plastic bucket. Then I quickly changed into my security guard uniform. Pretty clever, eh? Oh, so that's Ron in the picture. That makes way more sense. Wow, awesome. Hey, hold the phone. The guard in this photo? Is this you, Mr. DeLite? Hee hee, that's right. Nice trick if I do say so myself. Nice and easy to figure out. Even Pearls could see through that in a heartbeat. Newspaper clipping. About first heist. Guard in photo is Ron DeLite. But as you might expect, Detective Atme found the disguise. He truly deserves the title of Ace Detective. Detective Atme found the mask-to-mask disguise? That's interesting. Yes, and I heard that he brought it home with him. That's awfully suspicious. So that's it. That's when Atme got his hands on this. Thanks to that, I got the chance to remake my costume. That must have been really time-consuming, huh? Yes, it took quite a while to complete. Anyway, a few days after that, I received the first of the blackmail letters. Blackmail letters? Plural? You got them starting when? Tell me more, now! Hey, calm down. Don't get so worked up. This is really important. Whoops, not that. I want to do this. This blackmail letter, is this the first one you got? No, of course not. But this is the first one that ever called me out to a specific location. So, did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Emanon heist. That first letter, it said, I know you did it. So someone found out about your true identity? Just like that? It's not easy being a master thief, you know. I've got proof that it was you, so give up, it went on to say. So in the end, I had to give up the treasure I went through all that trouble to steal. Is that right? Hey, hang on a second. What do you mean you had to give it up? Was this the... Didn't we hear that the Tear of Emanon was found by Detective Atme? Oh, don't worry. After I put the jewel in the safe deposit box the letter specified, someone sent me $10,000. No one said anything about me being worried, you know. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. Plans? So someone put him up to this? What are these plans you're talking about? They were instructions on how to steal a crown or painting or some other rare treasure. They showed security blind spots, escape routes, and even suggested training methods. So you mean that the one who planned the heists wasn't you? No, it wasn't. I only planned the very first one. After that, I received plans from some very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans. I don't know if I'd call that a very kind person. It sounds like Mr. DeLite is thankful to the person that was blackmailing him. So Ron DeLite was mask to mask after all? But someone else is behind the thefts. Someone who planned them all out in detail. I'm pretty convinced it's Luke Atme. All I had to do was deposit the treasures I stole into the safe deposit box. Then I just waited for the cash to come in the mail. Could you try not to look so gleeful about it? So you went after the Sacred Urn because of one of those plans too? Well, see, truth is I've never seen the urn. All I did was follow the instructions and steal what I was told to steal. Mr. DeLite, is everything you've just told me the truth? Yes. But please don't tell Desi, okay? Ron's testimony. From Damask's second heist on, he was stealing as directed by blackmail letters. Ron, before we go, there's one more thing I want to ask you. Uh-oh. Yes? But please don't hurt me. Mr. Kane Board, do you swear that it wasn't you who killed him? Yes, of course. I could never... I'm not lying. All I did was hide his body in the safe. But then I was afraid they'd discover what I did, so I turned myself in yesterday. Why? Well, if the judge had ruled that I was guilty of robbery, then I'd have an alibi, right? Oh, maybe my theory isn't so far-fetched after all. Maybe Luke Atme thought the same thing, and figured that he could have an alibi if he turned himself in as mask to mask. I guess so. You're really clever, Mr. DeLite. I guess I have no choice but to take Mr. DeLite at his word. Mystic Maya! Hey, Pearly! I'm back! Hey, Pearls. So what have you been up to this whole time? The Sacred Urn, Mr. Nick. I took it back to Crying Village to have it examined. And what did you find out? Well, there's no need to worry. They said it's the real urn. Oh, that's good. Phew! That's a relief. I was really worried. But there's one small problem. Problem? These cute little pink splotches, they said that it's paint, and that they were put on the urn recently. Yeah, I think I've got a pretty good idea of who did that. Why are we talking about the pink splotches again? What's the big deal? What's the big deal? We've got to find out how they got there. That's the big deal. Yes, Mr. Nick, we got to find out how they got there. Okay, we'll go find out how they got there. Please don't forget about me. Sacred Urn, found in Atmy's office, covered in pink splotches, but it's the genuine article. Alright, I think we have enough to go back to... Oh my goodness. I always get these mixed up. Exhibit Hall. And talk to Miss Andrews. Oh, we got a new thing here now. Oh, Pearl, how nice to see you. Hello there. I haven't seen you around lately. What have you been up to? Well, actually, I was having this urn examined. Oh, I see. Maybe if we take another good look at this urn, we can figure out the mystery of what actually happened here. Nick, let's look around one more time. I don't know if we need to actually examine anything here, but I'm going to look at this just to be sure. Okay, maybe we need to actually do this to match these up. This box, there's something about it that's bothering me. Like the fact that maybe it's pink at the bottom. That's the box that the Sacred Urn was in. It looks like there's some pink paint on it too. And it's definitely the same color as the stuff on the urn. I think I know how the pink got in it now. Alright, let's investigate again, Nick. Urn box. A wooden box that had the Sacred Urn in it. Has pink stains all over it. Alright, I think we needed to do that. Let's go back and talk with Adrian and present our Magatama. Boo-boo! Well, we can present the urn itself. Now that it's been updated. Sorry to break it to you, but the urn is the genuine article. Pearls went back to Crying Village and had it examined. Is that right? That's nice, but I don't see how... What she discovered was that the urn had been broken. Again. Did you say again? Yes. It was broken once a year ago. And now it looks like the same thing has happened. And quite recently, too. Recently? Are you saying that this urn was broken recently? Yes, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Why do you think it was broken recently? How do you know? I'm gonna guess that we present this. No? Well, let's look again. I'm gonna look this one up. I just want to make sure I get this right. I feel like we're really close here to getting this. Wait, did we miss a... We did! Okay, hang on a sec. We missed one thing here. I thought we had gotten everything, but apparently not. We need to look at this again. I guess we did this in the wrong order. Mr. Mick, yeah, odd shape. Pretty sure this is it. Yeah, box Sacred Urn. Woo, it matches. Yay. What is it, Mr. Nick? This is all turning out exactly as I thought it would. Paint marks added to the court record. Completely dry. The box of the Sacred Urn fits in the gap perfectly. I think it's all starting to become clear. We're that much closer to solving the mystery of what happened to the urn. Okay, now let's do this. It's always frustrating when you're like really close to getting these and there's like one little thing that manages to be in your way that you just miss entirely. Okay, we know this part. Okay, let's present this. No? Oh, the poster, right. Hang on. Because the poster had it saying, I am. There we go. This poster, it was made recently, right? Poster? Ah, the poster for the exhibit. At the time when this photo was taken, the urn said, I am on it. But now, for some mysterious reason, it says, Amy. When the urn was fixed, the letters were transposed. Ah! I am? What does that even mean? I don't even know anything about that. I wasn't even there when the photo for this poster was taken. That was a mistake. Now, tell the truth. Ah, wait. Even if the urn was broken, I had nothing to do with it. Huh? Yes, that's it. It must have been one of the people at the photo shoot. They probably dropped it. I'm sure that's what happened. It looks like she's not going to give up that last psyche walk so easily. Do you have any proof the urn was broken here at Lordly Taylor? Okay, now I think we need to do this. There we go. Well, Miss Andrews? What is this supposed to mean? There's pink paint all over this urn. And there is pink paint all over the floor and walls of this basement warehouse. In other words, this urn was broken here. You can't weasel out of this one, Miss Andrews. But... Uh-oh. She's trying to make her escape. But you can get pink paint anywhere. Well, there's none in my office, that's for sure. Well, there is in my room. Liar. Anyway, the paint on the urn and the paint on the floor, there's no proof that's the same paint. Come on, this is getting ridiculous. The proof linking the paint on the urn to the paint on the floor is... Is it this? This box. The urn was stored in this, right? Yes, that's right. Well, there's pink paint on this box as well. Ah. I think you already know where I'm going with this, don't you? Yes, more or less. The paint on the floor has an odd shape imprinted in it, doesn't it? Yes. If you put this box into the impression in the paint, you can see it fits perfectly. Which means this box was dropped right over there. And that is when the urn was broken. Your name does you justice, Mr. Wright. Yay! How much health will we get back? All of it? Yeah! Nice. I'm so sorry. I was the one who broke the urn. Boy, does this make me feel like some sort of evil school teacher. I'm a terrible person. Not only did I break it, but I tried to hide what I did. Also, why are we getting the Steel Samurai sad music here? I mean, I know she worked for Matt on guard, but... Well, that's not so hard to understand. Is it, Pearly? No, not at all. I know just how she feels. Yep. You do know just how she feels. It happened about 2 weeks ago. Just after the poster photo was taken on the same day the urn arrived here. I thought I'd put it away down here for safekeeping. I was carrying it in the box. That looks funny. When I tripped on a paint can and lost my balance. The box I was carrying crashed to the ground. I heard a terrible noise, and I thought my heart was going to stop. Fearing the worst, I opened the lid of the box, and that's when it happened. The broken pieces of the urn fell out of the box and landed right in the paint. I was in shock and let out a huge scream. By the way, I promise I did not know earlier that she was the one who put it back together. That was like, I thought she had mentioned that she was like panicking because she saw that the urn was broken and she was trying to put it back together, and I think I was mixing it up with something else. I actually had no idea that that was actually the case. I can totally see how that could have happened. Yeah, as clumsy as she is, I'm sure Maya understands. Clumsy buddies! Well, I knew it was the most important treasure in all of Kurine Village, so I tried as hard as I could to fix it. Fortunately, the shards were pretty big. And that's when the I am got changed to Amy. You know, you actually did fix it. For real. Other than the pink paint part. I didn't know how it was originally written. But any sane person fixing it would have assumed it said Amy. Any sane person? Really? Oh, Pearls. She said she wasn't very good at spelling. Anyway, I put the urn into the storeroom and no one had seen it since then. So, you're telling me that this entire time you left the paint the way it was, without cleaning that up? Sacred Urn, broken and repaired by Adrian 2 weeks ago, then replaced in its box, kept out of sight. But there's something I don't get. When we first came here, I didn't see any paint stains. Well, that's because it was so ugly and embarrassing. I used a golden statue to cover it. Oh, that's right. I remember that. The Amy Faye statue. Aha! The first time that we came down here, it was on the night that the Sacred Urn was stolen. But Mr. Nick, there were no paint marks on the walls or floor of the warehouse when we were here. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. And I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. I see. Now it makes perfect sense. But there's still one thing I find strange. Actually, I just thought of something. I noticed this when we were looking at the evidence earlier. There's something I find strange. I don't know if this is what Pearl's thinking. No, not that photo. Where's the picture of mask to mask from the security? Here. We can clearly see splotches of paint on the wall over there. And at this point, it's like 12:58 in the morning, right? So this would have been before anything happened where Luke Atme would have, I guess, staged a battle with Mask to Mask where the stuff, like the sword got broken and all that stuff. I mean, Ron wasn't here. So, why is the statue gone at this point? Who would have moved it? What is it, Pearl? The day after the urn was stolen, we came here again. At that time, the statue had been moved and the paint was clearly visible. She's right about that. Well, Miss Andrews? Huh? I don't know anything about that. I just assumed that it was a part of, like, the struggle that we were apparently trying to talk about in court. But now that we're not even sure who the mask to mask that came in here that night was, I'm not exactly sure what to make of that. I placed it there to cover the paint, so why would I move it again? Well, then who was it? Who would have done it and why? On the day before the theft, the statue was definitely closer to the door. Then the next day, it was moved. But why? Amy Faye's golden statue, carried into the basement warehouse the day of the crime, moved again that night. That is a mystery, alright. It looks like... So whenever it happened, it must have happened before Mask to Mask came through the thing and got his picture taken, right? There's some connection between the Sacred Urn and the murder case. Why? Why do you think so, Nick? Because that night, the real thief, Ron DeLite, was at KB Security. So then why did another Mask to Mask show up here? A lot of different things are pointing to one undeniable fact. One undeniable fact? The murder trial is starting tomorrow, but... it looks like that thief is going to be making another appearance. Yeah, somehow I get the feeling we're not done with that yet. But how will it all wrap up? Well, we'll find out in the trial tomorrow, in the next video. So take care, and I will see you next time.